Hey there, welcome to Millennium Milestone Presents, a site dedicated to storytelling in books, movies, video games, and other exciting genres, including a little-known Disney Plus series called Daredevil Born Again. Maybe you've heard of it. Well, the ramifications of the previous episode picks up in episode 4 entitled Sic Semper Systemum, a title with similar meaning to Sic Semper Tyrannus, a Latin phrase meaning thus always to tyrants. In contemporary parlance, it means tyrannical leaders will inevitably be overthrown, or in the case of this title, the system will inevitably be overthrown. Speaking of being overthrown, Matt Murdock's life could possibly be overthrown, which is already a mess, cranked up to an 11 at this moment in time. Still reeling from Hector Ayala's murder, Matt dives into a frantic investigation to uncover who ordered the hit on him. His hunt drags him to the morgue, where he swipes Ayala's belongings, most notably the White Tiger amulet, because what's a little grave robbery between friends, right? Enter Angela Del Toro, Ayala's niece. She's not grieving, she's practically setting her sorrow on fire and calling it a crusade for justice. And if you think Matt's stubborn, wait till you meet Angela. The two clash, but quickly realize they're both after the same thing, vengeance served with the side of justice. Meanwhile, Wilson Fisk is out here living his worst nightmare. Public appearances. Listening to none other than children sing as well as adults. Yes, you heard it. Listening to adults.
Mayor garbage! Is that it? Is that your best? You are all here to help me execute my promises. My promises to the people. Simple promises.
Watching him try to play a charming mayor while suppressing his inner tyrant is like watching a bear trying to take ballet lessons. His PR game is terrible, but his manipulation skills, still top-notch. Unfortunately, his marital issues with Vanessa are festering in the background. It's clear the pressure of being New York's so-called savior is cracking the Kingpin's armor, so pretty much wraps this story except, wait, this just in. Wait, boom! Hey there. It is none other than Uncle Frank Castle making his grand re-entrance into the series now. The Punisher's back, and he's got a new grudge to settle. When Matt crosses paths with Frank, it's like mixing gasoline with a blowtorch. Words are exchanged, fists are nearly thrown, and Matt has a cry? Huh? He barely keeps himself from letting loose all the pent-up rage that's been eating at him, but hey, at least he stopped himself before doing something truly stupid. Progress, right? And we get one last reveal to end the episode. A new villain shows up, ready to carve his name into the streets of Hell's Kitchen. With the city's corruption boiling and old grudges coming back to haunt everyone, Matt's not just fighting crime, he's fighting to keep himself from spiraling completely out of control. Things are kind of heating up, and Matt's either going to be the hero that saves New York, or the man who lets it all go up in flames. Now, for my thoughts, I gotta say that the first 4 episodes are becoming a bit of a snooze fest. Episode 4 is no exception to this. On its own, it doesn't add anything we don't already know from the previous episodes. Nothing has turned over yet. The marital affair story with Vanessa needs to wrap up, and I beg you, quickly. I find more entertainment with paint drying than this. Even the revelation of Adam, the man Vanessa had an affair with in Fisk's captivity, doesn't add anything meaningful or suspenseful to me. Remember, this was the Fisk that did this to people like him.
You. Embarrassed me in front of her.
We're not getting the Fisk of old. We want our villains to be villains. Make us hate what this man does to someone. Make us want to see him get his comeuppance. We don't need an allegorical take on political figures. We need the Kingpin. Why is he not responsible for White Tiger's death? That alone would have amplified the story tenfold, and you bring everyone in a nice little red bloody bowl. Okay, that was a little creepy and maybe a little over the top, but you get the point. The return of Frank Castle is refreshing. Berthelot brings his intensity like he never lost it. The exchange between him and Matt is always explosive and confrontational, but I would not hold this up to the penny and dime performance that he gave on Netflix that touched our hearts. Something else missing is the dialogue Matt would have with the priest, which I feel is integral to his character. The conversation of acknowledging Foggy's death was a good moment between Frank and Matt to an episode that needed something heartfelt at the very least. This, I would say, was the highlight of the show, which is not saying much for a low bar for me. The introduction of Muse and what his role in all of this has yet to be revealed, so we don't have much to go on other than the fact that he's a deranged psychopath and likes to carve out his victims alive. Overall, the slow burn absolutely does need to ramp up. I do feel I'm watching this review at this point and my enjoyment is starting to wane. I can tell with others that the same is true. Viewership for Daredevil was low at the start, and we have to wait and see if the numbers will climb steadily. Well, those are my thoughts on Daredevil Born Again for this episode. If you saw the episode, let me know what you thought and where you think it's headed. Like, share, and subscribe, and you best better believe I'll be back.